Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So today I wanted to show you something that I have been talking all this while and that's related with dormancy and non-dormancy. But as I've said this, that in my city the dormancy is not very strict because I belong to a tropical environment. Ideally in a tropical environment, first of all, succulents do not belong to a tropical environment. Majority of the succulents do not belong to a tropical environment. There are few succulents that do belong to tropical environment, like some of them tend to grow in rainforest as well, but that depends upon the variety to variety. Not all of the succulents belong to a tropical environment. Majority of them do not belong to a tropical environment, but we still tend to grow succulents in tropical environment. And over the period of time, by propagating it, by creating hybrids and by cross-pollinating succulents and growing them in a very different environment, they have kind of adapted over the years, and that's why today we are able to grow them even in a very different environment from where they basically belong. Now over here I have two of my succulents. One is my Echeveria champagne, and then I have the Crassula falcata. Now we all know Echeveria and Crassula, they are two different genus that tend to go dormant in two different climate. Echeverias tend to go dormant during the winters, and Crassulas tend to go into their growing period during the winters. But you can see over here is a perfect example. This is why they also say that succulents are opportunistic growers. Whenever they feel that it is comfortable for them to grow, they will grow. At times they might not grow. At times they feel that the environment is good, and that's when they start putting out a lot of growth. Now that's exactly what's happening over here. I have my falcata Crassula, which I have already made a video on. The blooms had come up. Now all the pollens have gone off. Probably they have been pollinated. So this is my Crassula falcata and this is my Echeveria champagne. Now what I want to show you over here is it's very common for a Crassula to bloom during the winters because this is their growing period. So that's why it has a bloom. A lot of my summer dormant succulents are blooming right now because they are getting into their growing period, or they have already got into their growing periods because the temperatures have drastically dropped. It's usually now between 25 to 27 degrees Celsius. It's almost like winters right now. But the funny part is that even my some of my Echeverias are also blooming, which is very surprising. Echeverias are supposed to go dormant during the winters, but you can see my Echeveria is blooming, which indicates that my environment is not very strict with dormancy and non-dormancy. During summers, yes, because the heat gets too much, so probably the summer dormant succulents might go into a complete dormancy. Now the winters in my city are very short-lived. I do not have a very, or I wouldn't say, I don't have a very typical winter because until October, November, it tends to rain. Now again, there has been a forecast that it's going to rain for another week, so I'm not very sure. I have my plastic sheets ready because I'd taken the plastic sheets out thinking that the rains or the monsoons have gone off, but there is a forecast that it's going to be raining very soon. So you can understand the winters are very short-lived in my city. Until November it might rain, and then the winter set in December, January, and by Feb the summer started. So the winters are very limited in my city. Probably it's very good for Echeverias, but overall it's not very good. Now I'm talking about outdoors because indoors succulents do not get affected with dormancy because indoors you do not have that external factors like temperature and the climate. Indoor they do not go dormant or non-dormant. They tend to continue to have a very normal growth. But this is something that I'm talking about outdoors because you can see all of my succulents are outdoor, and my Echeveria is blooming. My Crassula has just done with blooming. So there are two varieties right in front of you which are supposed to which one of them has supposed to be in the dormant season, but it's still putting out blooms. So this is a little bit confusing, especially for people who are from a tropical environment. This is something that you're going to notice it. So that's why it becomes very difficult to grow succulents in a tropical environment because this is not that typical environment to grow, but over the period of time the succulents have adapted to our environment. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. Dormancy is not very strict in my city. Probably it might be even in your city. I'm not very sure. It depends if your Echeveria, because a lot of times people say that my Echeveria is blooming during winter. So it's very common, as we have already spoken about this. Succulents are opportunistic growers. If they feel that it is the right time to bloom or the right time to put out growth, they will do it. And basically they are also quite confused with the environment because this is not the type of environment they are supposed to be in. But nevertheless, it's a very good thing that the succulent is blooming. Again, I won't be keeping the blooms for too long. I will cut it off so that the mother plant can store the energy for itself. I know the bloom looks extremely beautiful. I was about to cut this off, but I found the bloom to be very pretty, and I did not see any infestation of aphids. I didn't see any infestation of mealybugs. So I happened to let the crassula bloom. But if I would have noticed any aphids, because ideally the blooms tend to attract a lot of aphids and insects and bugs, so I usually or generally tend to cut it off. But at times, if I do not see any bugs, I let it grow. And this one, I just wanted to keep it up for this video. So probably after a few days, I will chop it off. I do not want to chop it off right now, because as I've said, there is a forecast that it might rain. If I'm going to chop it off, then I have to keep it in a place where there is no contact of moisture. So that was all about it. I will show you another echeveria as well. My yangin, which was blooming, I will show you to you right away. And this is my echeveria yangin. As I said, it was it's blooming now during the colder months, which is again very unusual. But nevertheless, if they feel that it's the right time to bloom, it's absolutely okay. But I think I will cut off the bloom after some time, because I want the mother plant to save the energy for itself. So guys, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.